Ready? Chapter 23 Two Doctors. Back at the camp, all officers but 4 had fallen asleep. Grima and Boyhild were assigned the current night shift. All the guards were going to be doctors, as no one knew when the tiny squad would return with the Osa and what medical assistance she would need. Leah and Eamon hadn't turned in for the night yet, sitting beside the 2 doctors. Grima turned to Leah. "So you stayed up to keep me company?" "I'm just not tired yet," she answered very quickly. He kept looking at her. "I don't believe you. Give me one good reason why we shouldn't date." We know?" She was a bit stunned by the question. Date? Why would she date him? She tried her hardest to come up with a reason. Any reason. "You are 3 years younger than me?" Grima started laughing. "That's it. That's not even a valid reason. We're both adults." Leah thought hard about it. This should be easy. He was Grima. He was, When Leah didn't respond, Grima continued. "You know what would be a valid reason? Saying that you don't like me, or that you like someone else, or even that I'm not your type. Yet you're saying none of those things. I'm starting to think you like me." The campfire lit up Leah's features, which made it very apparent that the red color was once again rising in her face. She stood up in embarrassment and mumbled something about sleeping before she stomped off. Grima looked at her as she walked away, engulfed by the darkness of the night. "Oh yeah, she likes me," he commented, very pleased. "Of all the people you could go for, you decide on the most ill-tempered one of all." Boyhild shook her head in disbelief. "Well, you know, Doctor, there is just something about her. She's like an angry hornet." Grima grinned. "And that's a good thing?" Boyhild wrinkled her forehead. "Indeed, she will be mine," Grima answered confidently. "Oh man, I'm doomed. Even Grima's found himself a partner. Soon I'll be the only single one here," Eamund complained. Boyhild looked at him. "You're only single because you go for the wrong women." "What do you mean, the wrong women? I asked Freya and she called me ugly, straight to my face. It can't be them. It has to be me." He hung his head. "No, it's definitely her. She can be pretty crude. You aren't ugly. There's nothing wrong with the way you look. Freya is gorgeous. She can pick and choose. The rest of us aren't that lucky. You have to look around more. You could even be a bit daring and venture over to Nila's blood army," Boyhild said encouragingly. "So I should go for someone like our creator?" Eamund asked. "That's the only options you see? The most beautiful women in the army? Or a god?" Boyhild looked at him with a tired expression. "I mean, our creator isn't hot," Eamund added. "She doesn't need to be hot. She's a god," Boyhild replied dismissively. Grima jumped into the conversation. "What, Doctor? People need to stop calling me Doctor like it's a name. I am Boyhild, nothing else," she interrupted him before he could finish. "Yeah, but I mean Boyhild. What kind of name is that?" Grima said, as insensitive as usual. "I like my name. It's the name my parents gave me. Apart from my memories, it's the only thing I have left of them. Also, I'm not the only doctor here," she answered. "I like your name too. It's different," Eamund interjected. "Thank you, Eamund," Boyhild said happily. "Ahem," Grima cleared his throat. "So what I was saying before Doctor interrupted me, should go for women in your own league, Eamund." Eamund's eyes narrowed. "And what league is that?" he asked tentatively. "The bottom league," Grima said and grinned. "I knew you were going to say something like that. Well, I'm not going to stay here and take any more of your insults." He stood up and turned around. Before Boyhild was able to stop him, Eamund was already off. She sighed loudly and turned to her fellow doctor. "Why do you always have to give him a hard time?" "It's like he leaves it open for me. He's a bit dense after all, Gilma answered. You do realize that the only reason he hasn't already kicked your ass is because he's a sweet guy. He's both stronger and better at fighting than you, she retorted. Gilma shrugged. Still, the dude is a few bricks short of a full load. Boyhill looked right at him. Rather kinda idiot than a smart asshole. He raised his eyebrows. Are you calling me an asshole? No, but if the shoe fits, she answered. You should be careful about those tips, though. You might actually end up finding someone, Gilma said to her. I hope not, she answered. Gilma snickered. Why don't you just admit to him that you like him? The chance is very slim that he will realize it on his own. Boyhill got a sad look on her face. I prefer it like this. In all honesty, you'll have to look hard to find anyone here who isn't messed up in the head. People like us shouldn't be in relationships. Destructive people doesn't build each other up. They destroy each other. He's one of the few good ones. He deserves someone as good as him. Hey, you're not a bad person. We studied together for 6 years. I do know a little bit about you after all, Gilma commented. Similar lives led us on the same path. Mother dying in childbirth, and father dying in one of the many pointless wars of the ruler. I still remember the last thing my father told me. If I die, the ruler will come here. Don't let him find you and make you his toy. He never came back, so when they came knocking on the door, I ran out the back door and hid. My father taught me many ways to hide. He had me hidden away for so many years, just so that the ruler wouldn't know of my existence. Do you remember the last thing your father told you? She asked him. Go die, you worthless piece of shit, I need to take a piss, Gilma answered. Wow, he sure knew how to choose his words, Boyhill commented. He was okay when he didn't drink. Unfortunately, he was an alcoholic, so he was rarely sober. He blamed me for my mother's death. He drank to deal with his emotions, and took out his anger on me, verbally and physically. I know I'm rough with my words. It's the way I was raised to talk. But still, I'm nothing compared to how he was. He was probably drunk on the battlefield the day he died as well. Funny enough, I still miss him sometimes. You know, when he was sober, he was actually a good dad. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see that side much. I always thought, if I could save one child from the life I had, by saving the mother from dying in childbirth, they would get to live the happy life I always wished I had. Gilma took a deep breath. That's why we do what we do, to save not only those who are sick, but those around them that depend on and love them as well, Boyhill filled in, as they both looked up towards the night sky.